Welcome to Inside British Royals. This is your exclusive look inside the world's most famous family. We are exploring the scandals, secrets, and power plays that define the modern monarchy. If you are new here, please do well to hit that subscribe button for more updates. They call her Shameless Sarah, and for decades, Sarah Ferguson has walked a tightrope between royal privilege and public disgrace. But a flood of recently surfaced emails to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein reveals a side to the former Duchess that is darker and more desperate than many could have imagined. These aren't just embarrassing notes. They show jaw-droppingly poor judgment and a relentless pursuit of cash that has now left her reputation in tatters. With her charity shut down and her business ventures collapsing, there are now swirling rumors that she's making a desperate, shameless plea to her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. It's a request that could salvage her future, but it might come at a terrible price: the potential destruction of their own royal careers. So what is she supposedly asking? And why are her daughters facing such an impossible choice between loyalty to their mother and their duty to the crown? To understand the desperation of today, you have to look at the scandals of yesterday. For Sarah Ferguson, financial chaos and public humiliation aren't exactly new. After her high-profile divorce from Prince Andrew in 1996, the freewheeling Duchess was cut loose from the royal financial pipeline. She voluntarily gave up her Royal Highness title, though she remains the Duchess of York. Her life became a constant struggle to maintain a royal lifestyle without a royal income, leading her down a path of endorsements, TV appearances, and mounting debt. The most infamous moment came in 2010, in a sting operation that sent shockwaves through the monarchy. An undercover journalist, posing as a wealthy businessman, secretly filmed Ferguson as she offered to sell access to her ex-husband, Prince Andrew. For £500,000, she promised to open any door he could ever wish for, telling him, "Look after me, and he'll look after you. You'll get it back tenfold." The backlash was immediate and brutal. Ferguson issued a public apology, blaming her actions on financial desperation and what she called a serious lapse in judgment. But the incident cemented a public image of a woman willing to leverage her royal connections for cash. This cash-for-access scandal was a turning point, revealing a staggering lack of judgment that would come to define her public life. And as we now know, it was just the tip of the iceberg. At the very same time she was making these deals, she was also deeply entangled with an even more toxic figure, Jeffrey Epstein. In early 2026, the U.S. Department of Justice released a massive trove of documents connected to the Epstein investigation, and buried within them was a series of emails that painted a horrifying picture of Sarah Ferguson's relationship with the convicted sex offender. The correspondence, which took place long after Epstein's 2008 conviction for soliciting a minor, reveals a disturbing level of closeness and dependency. In the messages, Ferguson didn't treat Epstein like a pariah, but as a confidant and a potential savior. She called him a legend and, in one particularly fawning note, the brother I have always wished for. The emails are littered with pleas for money and gushing praise. One from May 2010, at the height of her financial crisis, shows her practically begging for a job. What has truly horrified royal watchers is how casually she brought her own daughters into this toxic orbit. The emails show Epstein inquiring about Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, and Ferguson appearing to respond with their personal details. To discuss your own daughter's private life with a known sex offender is a level of misjudgment that many find impossible to comprehend. The fallout was swift. Sarah's Trust, her main charity, announced it was shutting down for the foreseeable future, and 6 of her private companies began the process of being dissolved. The woman who once married into the heart of the monarchy was now radioactive. Her public apologies of the past now ring hollow. While she publicly claimed in 2011 to have made a gigantic error of judgment in taking money from Epstein, the private emails tell a different story. Shortly after that public statement, she was reportedly humbly apologizing to Epstein, telling him she only distanced herself to protect my own brand and that she did not call him a pedophile. It seems it was Epstein who eventually cut her off, not the other way around. Facing financial ruin and public condemnation, sources close to the Yorks now claim that Sarah Ferguson is plotting her final, most desperate move. And this is the one thing she is reportedly begging her daughters for: their support as she prepares to write a bombshell, tell-all memoir. According to tabloid insiders, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are mortified at the idea and have been begging her not to do this. But Fergie, described by sources as being in survival mode, isn't asking for their permission. She's asking for their loyalty. The rumored plea isn't for them to co-author the book, but for something more subtle: to run damage control with the royal family and publicly stand by her as she crosses the ultimate red line. These rumors have been fueled by reports that Ferguson has been seen moving boxes of personal diaries from Royal Lodge, where she still lives with Prince Andrew. There's widespread speculation that these private notebooks could form the basis of a lucrative, spare-style exposé. Some reports suggest she feels a tell-all memoir is her last remaining leverage and the only way to solve her dire financial problems. The alleged strategy seems ripped straight from the Harry and Meghan playbook: a tell-all book and a major TV interview to reclaim her narrative and secure her financial future. This would put Beatrice and Eugenie in an impossible position. They have spent years carefully navigating the fallout from their parents' scandals. They have worked hard to build their own lives and careers while remaining loyal to the monarchy. Insiders say they have been making a conscious effort to signal their loyalty to the crown, even choosing to spend recent holidays with King Charles. Now, their mother is allegedly asking them to jeopardize all of it. To stand with her would risk enraging Prince William, who is said to have a zero-tolerance policy for this kind of behavior, and it would shatter any remaining goodwill they have with the king. To refuse, the pressure on Beatrice and Eugenie must be immense. Caught between a mother in survival mode and an unforgiving monarchy, their futures hang in the balance. But what do you think? Should the princesses stand by their mother, or should they protect their own royal futures at all costs? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're finding this story as fascinating as we are, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the royal world. The royal family is likely bracing for impact. According to insiders, senior figures in the palace are quietly warning Sarah Ferguson not to go rogue, suggesting that such a move could unleash a torrent of legal action. There are even whispers of a secret deal being offered: lifetime funding in exchange for her permanent silence, a desperate bid to avoid another transatlantic media firestorm. For Beatrice and Eugenie, the stakes could not be higher. They are already tainted by association. There is a growing public sentiment that the princesses are too connected to their parents' scandals to properly represent the monarchy. Their carefully managed images are cracking under the strain. Sources claim Eugenie feels profoundly betrayed and humiliated by her mother's actions. Will Sarah Ferguson take a deal and fade quietly into obscurity? Or will her desperation for cash and relevance push her to press the nuclear button, publishing a book that could burn the final bridge between her family and the House of Windsor? Insiders say she is convinced she can stage a comeback and is refusing to go down without a fight. For her daughters, who have tried so hard to live lives of quiet dignity, this shameless, rumored plea may be the